Trigger warning. Do not buy the Canon R5 in 2023. I love this camera, but is it the best camera for you? Let's find out. Today, we're going to be talking about the fantastic Canon R5 camera. This is a full-frame, jaw-dropping mirrorless beast packed with features. However, I am going to be discussing why it's probably not the best option for you in 2023 and what other alternatives there might be. Make sure to stay all the way to the end and I'll tell you exactly what camera you should buy instead of this camera. Reason number one, the R5 is truly a powerhouse of a camera. It has a 45 megapixel full-frame CMOS sensor and a DigicX image processor. This camera creates some of the most detailed images that I have ever taken. You will have the ability to get the sharpest, the most crisp details imaginable. But that will come at a cost of high amounts of storage and processing power. On average, each raw image that I take is about 45 megapixels. That's roughly about 22 images per gigabyte. And that's just for stills. If we want to talk about video for a second, roughly a 10-second 4K clip, we are easily talking hundreds of megabytes, even gigs of storage. Granted, this camera is a favorite choice for professional photographers, cinematographers alike, for weddings, sports, journalism, landscapes, and a lot more. Notice that I did just say professionals. Of course, the average consumer and the hobbyist will love this camera too. But that leads me to reason number two as to why you shouldn't get this camera. Everything needed to support this camera and get it to its full potential is incredibly expensive. I had to buy a dedicated desktop computer to be able to handle the file sizes that came out of this thing. I had to get dedicated SSDs. I still have to upgrade my SD cards to V90 cards. The best cards that I own are still the V60s, and that's barely enough to get the video that I want. Most of my filming, however, is intermittent, and it's all within 10 minutes of continuous recording in 4K. So I'm not spending any more than 10 minutes of continuous record time, especially not in 4K. I have even been considering lowering my resolution to 1080p, but I personally love the ability to reframe and crop the video that I record in 4K. It gives me a lot more flexibility, and plus I'm paying a premium price to be able to do that. I even had to buy archival HDD storage to keep me from getting multiple USB drives. If I didn't, I was going to have maybe like 10 or 15 of these within the matter of a year. And even with all of that, I'm still in the process of researching a NAS system. A NAS is it's an acronym, NAS. It stands for, I'll just leave it right here, system, so that I can be able to upload and read and write very quickly to my network. Now, if you know anything about managing storage, you know it can get expensive and it can get relatively unmanageable very, very quickly. Now, it certainly doesn't help that I'm a hoarder when it comes to my digital assets, but I just love my raw files. Anyways, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to this channel. It's free and it helps get this video out there to other people like you and me. Reason number three, the price. This camera comes in at a whopping $3,700, $3,700. And this camera has been out for roughly 3 years now. Make sure to check the links below for the latest price. Often you can find this camera for about $200 off, leaving it at around $3,500. Still a lot of money. Now, that's a lot of money that can be used elsewhere if you're not a full-time creator or a professional photographer. The very next camera in the lineup is my all-time favorite Canon camera, the R6 and the R6 Mark II. Both of those come in at $2,100 and $2,500 respectively. That's more than $1,000 less. In no way am I comparing the R6 Mark I or Mark II to the Canon R5. There is no doubt that the specs in the R5 are world class. What I'm trying to do is highlight the massive price gap between the R6 Mark II and the R5. roughly plus $1,000 or so. The R5, with its high-speed continuous shooting of up to 12 FPS with the mechanical shutter and 20 FPS with the electronic silent shutter, the R5 is undoubtedly impressive. And let's not forget the 8K RAW that it claims to be able to shoot, totally not usable yet, by the way. A 128GB memory card will be filled up with 8K RAW footage in less than 5 minutes. I have no idea what you can do with that. The R5, very similar to the R6 and the R6 Mark II, features a 5-axis in-body image stabilization, offering up to 8 stops of shake correction. Now, I know what you're thinking. This camera is absolutely amazing, and why shouldn't I buy it in 2023? Well, despite all of its awesomeness, you really should consider the following. You will undoubtedly need to upgrade all of your supporting gear. That's your computer, your memory cards, and you have to figure out storage solutions as well. The next thing that you need to consider is, what are you really trying to accomplish with this camera that you can't with a much more affordable R6 Mark II? The third thing that you need to consider is how long till the R5 Mark II comes along. The R5 Mark II has been around the corner for some time now, and it's bound to be released within the next year. Of course, that one will come with its initial round of problems, but that's to be expected. What is also going to be expected, however, is a price reduction in the original R5. Now, if I were a betting man, I would say that the original R5 will drop by at least $500 brand new and about $1,000 price drop in the used market. With all of that being said, though, I love my R5, and when I bought mine, it was a no-brainer decision for me. All right, Vic, so what camera should I get instead? Well, depending on your budget, I will give you 2 options in both directions. If you are Mr. or Mrs. Moneybags, then I would suggest and recommend getting the R5 C if you're not willing to wait for the R5 Mark II. The R5 C has a fan that keeps it cooler for longer continuous recording and is the ultimate hybrid camera. It doesn't have IBIS, however, which I think is a shame. Now, if you're looking for something a lot more affordable with manageable file sizes where you don't have to buy all of your supporting equipment all over again, then I would absolutely recommend the R6 Mark II. My favorite camera of all time, between the R5, as much as I love it, I still really enjoy the R6 and the file sizes that come out of it. It just makes the workflow a lot easier. The Canon R5 is undoubtedly a fantastic camera, but it just might not be the best camera choice for everyone in 2023. But hey, if you're still in love with the R5, by all means, go for it. I don't think that you're going to be disappointed, and it isn't a bad choice if you know what you're buying. I love my R5, and I use it every single day. It's my daily driver, and whenever I can use it, I bring this camera with me everywhere. Just be sure to weigh all your options and consider your needs before making your purchase. My goal is to help you make an informed decision with your money, and if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. At the moment, I'm answering any and all questions regarding this camera. If you want to see sample videos and sample images, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, where I like to post daily. If I provided you with any sort of value, don't forget to hit that like button and to consider subscribing to the channel for more photography tips and gear reviews like this one. Until next time, adios. Hey, you stuck around all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Make sure to hit that like button so that I know that you're a real one. I haven't been able to make these weekly updates because the past month I took on a challenge to post 3 long-form videos on this YouTube channel a week. It was a daunting task for me because I was also uploading daily shorts to all my social media accounts. If you're interested in learning about the results from my personal challenge, let me know in the comments. I'll happily make a video for you guys. I can tell you briefly that it was absolutely worth it. I learned a lot, and it's something that I'll probably try again, maybe a little bit later down the road. Real quick though, I have still been going out and filming and taking photos as usual. Moving forward, you're going to see a lot more of my photography on my social media accounts, on my Instagram and on my TikTok as well. I'm also considering making more documentary style short form content, 15-second, 30-second clips, just so that I can sharpen my cinematography skills. I am also going to be taking more courses around video production and video editing. I got 2 big budget proposals that I've sent out there. Hopefully I'll be able to secure those 2 gigs. One is a big wedding and another is a travel opportunity for one of my older clients. So I'll keep you posted in those. Stay all the way to the end of my regular videos, and that's where I'm going to be updating all of you guys on my happenings throughout the week. I would make dedicated videos for those topics, but I don't think that I have the audience for that yet. So for the time being, I'm just going to be reserving the last few minutes of every video just to give you a quick update on what it is that I'm doing in my personal life, in my creative life, and also what books that I've been reading. Anyways, that's going to do it for me today, guys. For real this time. Adios.